Hi everyone, Trade for the Embargo here, the internet's busiest music nerd. And it's time for a vinyl update, where I'm going to be giving you guys some of the latest additions to my vinyl collection over here. It is my birthday month, so I have decided to be a little nice to myself for me birthday. However, kicking off this list of records is a record by one White Reaper. Okay, White Reaper. These guys are a recent addition to the polyvinyl roster. I believe this is their debut project. Handful of songs on there. 6, as you can see. This is dirty, punky, scuzzy, psyched out garage rock with a lo-fi recording. It's got a lot of guts. Even here on the label here, it says that this record will make your ears ring, play as loud as you dare, and the packaging is fairly simple. Lyric sheet in there too with a picture of the band that's very dark. But the cherry on top of this thing is really the wonderful, clear, pink vinyl. So if you're looking for some psychedelic garage rock, and maybe you have like a checklist of vinyl colors that you need in your collection. There's the heat kicking on in my apartment. Yeah, we have heat over here. If you're looking for pink, you can pick it up here on the new White Reaper record. All right, moving on. This next record's a jazz record. Came out in 1959. Y'all are always asking me, hey man, how do I get into jazz, man? What kind of jazz should I be listening to, dude? Come on, man, what's up with all that jazz? This record is a benchmark in the world of hard bop, of bebop. Give this thing a listen. Charles Mingus's Can't even show you what the record looks like on this thing because it's sitting on the turntable. Been listening to it. But, yeah, there's the sleeve. Looks great. Like most great jazz records, you have tons of text on the back, giving you background on the record. I'm not 100% sure who is playing on this because I did not read this prior to doing this video. I apologize for that, for being a noob. However, by my personal taste, I will vouch, and many other people will vouch as well, to this record's greatness. Okay? Charles Mingus's Mingus Cool? Listen to it. All right. Fiery solos on this thing. And some passionate tracks as well. This I have not listened to yet. However, I am excited to listen to it, given that I am a fan of this guy and his contemporaries, and essentially what they did for dub reggae, this man in particular essentially being sort of at the very root of it, one of its inventors, Mr. King Tubby. This is essentially what I am to believe a series of lost tracks, B-sides, who knows what's or where's they even ever came from. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to giving this a listen. If you're looking to get into dub reggae, that being reggae that has incredibly progressive, experimental production techniques, lots of echoes and beautiful sheens on a lot of the instruments and things like that. Look up King Tubby. Look up Scientist. Look into the genre. And there we go. Look into Lee Scratch Perry, The Upsetters, Blackboard Jungle Dub. Great record. I have a Super Ape, The Upsetters Super Ape, in the collection as well. Another great dub record. King Tubby, Lost Treasures. This I also have not sunk my teeth into yet. This is the only Crass album I haven't tried yet. Christ the Album. Given my fandom of their previous records, Feeding the 5000, Penis Envy, this, I'm sure, will not be disappointing. Some very simple, stark, and sort of ominous album art. And like many other Crass reissues so far, these records come with very just elaborate album art, which I think is wonderful. Shows ambition. got the lyric sheet right there. They don't hold back. And it's just block after block after block of text. Actually, looking into this, we might even have more than lyrics in here. Actually, it looks like we have much more than lyrics in here, or maybe we don't. Actually, given that, yeah, no, it looks like we have lyrics in here, but still, given that I have not listened to this album yet, with all the text here, maybe I'm in for a treat. This seems intense. I'm seeing countries listed here, pacifism and violence, futures. Yeah, this looks nuts. Okay, I'm game. I'm down. Crass, Christ the album. Double LP over here. Can't wait to sink my teeth into this thing. Crass is this wonderful, noisy, chaotic, very politically minded, and they will throw your politics in your face like a Molotov cocktail. They're an anarcho-punk band, came from the UK, and they have some of the most vitriolic punk songs I've ever heard in my life. And despite their lack of great production, they have quite a bit of gusto. I read a quote one time, and Crass broke the balls of the Clash on numerous occasions, on numerous songs. Essentially called them out and called punk out for not really being punk. If you understand the punk ethos, you know what I'm saying. And I read this quote once with Joe Strummer saying that Crass was like a storm in a teacup. What's the point? It's like in a teacup. Like, what's the point of the storm if it's relegated to the teacup? Always hated that quote. All right, next. R.L. Burnside's Too Bad Jim. Another storm in a teacup. This is quite the dirty, badly recorded, very loosely and roughly played blues rock record. I would say this album has much more charm and I guess rough and rustic charm than it does fantastic execution. Just pretty much simple layout and everything like that. Simple layout, 180 gram. It's heavy vinyl, although it's not like the sound quality of the recording itself is amazing. It's a fairly rough recording, but it's still got a lot of guts. If you're looking for just a lot of oomph as opposed to wonderful playing or songwriting, I would say look into this. But if you're looking for a player who's like, super duper skilled, I would say, maybe head further in the direction of your Robert Johnsons or something like that. Or maybe even somebody who's just a little bit more concise and together with their band, like a Hound Dog Taylor or something like that. Or if you're just looking for some good blues, rhythm and blues rock singles, look into Sun Records. Can't go wrong there. Moving forward with another Crass-related title. This record came out on Crass's label back in the day. K.U.K.L. I'm just going to call it K.U.K.L. Because that's what I'm going to do. And The Eye is the name of this record. I paid a pretty penny for this reissue. I don't think it's reissued by it's reissued by One Little Indian. There's a sticker on here sort of bragging about the quality of the record itself. This, like many records on Crass's label, has elaborate cover art. This thing unfolds into a huge poster. The record itself says Crass Records on it. This is some noise rock, some post-punk, some experimental rock. And the interesting historical and factual tidbit about this band is that it features none other than Bjork, before she was actually even in or making music with, I believe, the Sugar Cubes. So if you want to sort of dive into Bjork's experimental noise rock post-punk past, do look into K.U.K.L's The Eye. I would say side A of this record is pretty strange, pretty noisy, pretty challenging. Bjork's vocals, and just the vocals in general, aren't totally like on pitch or on key a lot of the time, and I think it's more for just the effect, the dissonance. Side B seems to be a little bit more concise and pulled together on this record. So, you know, if this thing does seem like a huge pain in the ass in the first half, I advocate sticking with it because I think it pulls together in the second. Not to say that the album itself or the half of the album is bad, but I think, you know, you're really getting two different sides of the band on both sides. You know, so if you don't care for what you're hearing thus far, stick it out. Make sure you listen through to the second side. All right. This next band is also a post-punk band, a noise rock band. The third full-length record of Iceage. Iceage. Plowing through the field of love. Yay! Gave this record a rave review. I love this album. It's fantastic. It's like everything I've loved about Iceage's previous records, but with so much more instrumentation and finesse and songwriting. It's wonderful. It's a double LP. It's got a little poster in there. Wonderful. I was kind of sad to see the record cover of this thing and not see the band's very ominous rune logo on the front, but there you go. They popped it in the gatefold. A gatefold, man! Love a good gatefold. And, you know, just very black, ominous labeling and vinyl sleeves popped in here. I love it. I love it. I love the packaging. I think it looks great. I think it looks wonderful. Haven't put the records onto the turntable just yet. I just picked this thing up. But, you know, I am very familiar with the record, having reviewed it for the channel. So I am just waiting for a little bit of leisure time to just sit down and listen to that new Iceage album on record. All right, next two are classic experimental rock and krautrock albums. One I'm very familiar with, having owned a digital copy of this album for a long time, but decided to pick it up on, vinyl. Tagu Magoo from Can. Cool? Cool. German experimental rock act. Give these guys a listen if you haven't already. This is obviously a reissue. Lots of details there on the inner sleeve with production credits, songs, song information on the other side. It's an elaborate package. It's really nice. It's really nicely put together. Can't wait to throw these things on and just sort of, you know, get into this album on vinyl. And also picked up their debut album as well, Monster Movie. This album in their discography I am not as familiar with as I am with Soundtracks and Egi Bamyasi as well as Tagu Magoo. But given that I am a fan of those records, I thought I would give Monster Movie a try as well and just, you know, sort of go in on a blind buy on the rare occasion that I do that. Although you have already seen that I just did that with that Crass album as well. But, you know, like I said, it's my birthday month. You know, I decided, like, hey, you know what? Get some things you like. Get some things you haven't heard before that you've been meaning to get. And just surprise yourself. And finally, I will close this out with a beautiful double LP copy of the new Sun Kil Moon record, Benji. It's on wonderful, clear vinyl. Awesome little, you know, for such an unsuspecting, Instagram-looking front cover, this does have a beautiful, wonderful, gorgeous gatefold. I love those roses. They look great. In fact, they are roses. I don't think they are. Good job, Anthony. I'm no botanist. And then we have over here some nice labeling on there on the clear vinyl. And yeah, the other LP is clear as well. And apparently the D side of this record is loaded with a bunch of live cuts of some of the songs on this record. And no, unfortunately, the new Sun Kil Moon track, Sun Kil Moon Suck My Cock, I mean, not Sun Kil Moon, but War on Drugs, Suck My Cock. That song did not make this deluxe version of the record, unfortunately. Maybe the next one. You know, maybe there'll be a 7-inch. Get it? All right. That's going to conclude our vinyl update. Cool? Cool! I'm going to have fun listening to these. You have fun listening to whatever you're going to listen to. And have a nice day. Anthony Fantano. Vinyl. Music. forever.